Welcome to Ciao Bella, hosted by yours truly, Erica Firpo, travel journalist based in Rome. Each week on Ciao Bella, I explore today's Italy, speaking with artisans, designers, hoteliers, architects, artists, Parmesan makers, in other words, the creators who are making the Italy that you love. So sit back and join in. Hey, welcome back to Ciao Bella. This is Erica, and today I am sitting in the suburbs, sort of Florence, of Firenze, with Gianluca, the Chief Commercial Officer of Santa Maria Novella. Ciao, Gianluca.
Ciao, Erica. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm so happy that I had such a wonderful day with you. I want to introduce everybody to Santa Maria Novella. If you don't know it, which I would be surprised, but it is one of the oldest profumeria, farmacia, pharmacies in the world, or at least in Europe. And most people, when they come to Firenze, when they come to Florence, they can't help but stop into this beautiful, beautiful store, which looks like, it definitely looks like something out of the past. It looks like a church. It's got vaulted ceilings, and it has the most beautiful perfumes, soaps, elixirs in the world. And they're all made here in Florence. So I thought we could talk a little bit about the history.
Erica, you made a great introductions. In few words, you explain our origins. So in the historical premises that you saw, in effect, is told our story that started in 1221 when a little group of monks was called to take care of the outcasts who were tenting on the banks of the river Arno, trying to get the benefits of the development that the city was having at the time. Of course, there were a lot of pathologies that affected these people, especially the skin was affected by the dirty that were surrounding them, etc., etc. So the monks tried in something that we can recognize as a mixture between alchemy, basically, and the first attempt of chemistry, trying to fix their pathologies. And of course, the most of the remedies didn't work. But they tried to do something, and they started to produce the first ointment, pomades, soaps, and products, especially after the first epidemic of plague, which affected Europe in 1348. At the time, the city was counting 100,000 people that were reduced to 30,000 at the end of the century. So it means that this morbus was unbelievable. It was terrible and killed so many people, 2/3 of the population. So they started to see the nature, trying to find inspiration to get something that could fix the plague. And this is a news. It was a curious news that they, watching the rose that defend itself from the bites of the insects, producing something, they thought that distilling the petals of the insects. So I have an anecdote for that. It's in 1381, the monks observing the roses realized that they were producing something to defend the petals from the bites of the insects. And they thought that distilling the petals could create an antiseptic to fight the plague. Of course, it didn't work, but we are still selling as our bestseller the rose water that they produce at the time. So it's every product that we have has a romantic story behind. Or I can talk of the anti-hysterical water. It's a solution that we distill from a plant which is called Balsamite suavole. In English, it's called cosmary, that we cultivate in our plantation. And it has calming properties. So it is said that our grandmothers and even before, the ladies were used to walk with this solution in the bag because it was calming the hysterism. So it's, or the vinegar of the seven thieves.
Oh, that's one of my favorite stories.
Oh, that's a great story.
Sette ladri.
I sette ladri, yeah, because it is said always, the fairy tale says that just being all together, they could recreate the formulation which made them immune to get the plague. Each one of them detained a part of the recipe, so they couldn't trick each other. Just being all together, they could recreate the potion and go to make the robberies in the houses of the people affected by plague. These are the salts to prevent faintings. And today we have these products that are called like aromatic vinegar or lavanda salts. And we sell them just for the people which has the low pressure, just to have a little bit more,
Well, let's go back a few centuries, because I know, the Dominican monks started doing their, let's say, experiments in different cures for people, and then the plague happened. But one thing that you told me, which I think maybe because I love Italian history and I love Florentine history, but someone who was pivotal, sorry, to the story of Santa Maria Novella, but also to the story of France, was Catherine de Medici. Because she was of the de Medici family, the very famous Florentine family, and married, was it Henry II?
Henry II, Henry de Valois.
I'm pretty good with my history.
Good, really good. Well done.
And that would have been in the mid 1500s.
You're right. It has been a very important part of our history. Caterina belonging to the most powerful family in Florence at the time. In 1533, when she was just 14, she became Queen of France, marrying Henry II. And she was the best sponsor of the Italian product, the Tuscan product, the habits. Everybody knows that she brought the used to eat with cutlery to France, and other products or food like bechamel or soupe à l'oignon, zuppa di cipolle. And among these products, she convinced the monks to create a perfume which could celebrate the occasion. And they had the intuition to use for the first time in the alcohol as the right tool to transmit the perfume on the skin without leaving it greasy, oily, like it was not.
Because before you were saying that, before the introduction of alcohol to the perfume, the perfume could go rancid, is that correct?
They were using olive oil, almond oil, vinegar, so after a while the skin remained a little bit greasy, oily, rancid. So the smell, they were used to pour themselves with, to pour the body with these perfumes to cover the smell. But of course, after a couple of days, shower wasn't really a common thing to do. It was more to cover the smell. And they were excited to realize that after a while, after they used this water of the queen, this eau de la reine, like it was called, this perfume, the skin remained fragrant and dry rather than oily, greasy, and then afterwards rancid. And we can recognize it as the first perfumery of the modern era. At that time also in France, the monks were producing the padburs, which made the skin so white and pale. That's why the blue blood, because you could see the blue veins coming through.
I didn't know that.
So that's why they were, and the production during the Renaissance was quite good of this pharmacy,
So because of her, people started to know Santa Maria Novella. But it wasn't until, and I'm going to probably get the date wrong, 1612 that it became open
Perfect.
to the because I wrote the wrong date, and I know you corrected me earlier.
Perfect.
And why was it open to the public then?
Because the fame of the company, because of this fact of Caterina, spread as far as France, and the clients the customers, the products were given for free until the time to the community of the convent, because Santa Maria Novella, meanwhile, had become a big convent from the little church in the vineyards that was established in 1221. And but the offer was limited to the population living around the convent. These facts really increased the popularity of the pharmacy, and at the end, the monks, the monks are always smart, and they can anticipate the market needs, etc. They have been always perfect marketing managers, and they thought that the fortune of the pharmacy would have been to be in perfumery rather than in drugs. So they opened the store selling the products with the naming it Officina Profumo Farmaceutica di Santa Maria Novella, writing before the name of ephemeral things, perfumery, rather than drugs, because they understood that the business was in there. And that's why afterwards, in 1848, they changed the main sale room from the little main sale room that they opened in 1612 to the big one that is still our main room in the San Niccolò Chapel.
But when you visit, and in fact, that's something worth noting, that when you visit the boutique in Santa Maria Novella on Via della Scala, you can actually head to the original room, because it's the one that you brought me to that's in the far back, that looks out onto the courtyard of
The main cloister.
Of the cloister, exactly, because it's still, all of this still exists, which is what's so fascinating. In fact, when you come to Firenze on the train station is called Firenze Santa Maria Novella, because it's the big church there and the convent and the cloister.
Correct.
And so you can just walk around the corner, and then you enter, and you're in this, I think, twin churches that have been deconsecrated? Is that what they
It's
are?
very difficult to be found because everybody is looking for a pharmacy or a store or a
Yeah.
perfumery. Instead, you see a wooden door, big one, with nothing, no sign outside, etc. And you see just a long queue of Koreans or Japanese getting in, etc. And you recognize that maybe there is something. So you get in, and you find yourself in a church, because it's a church. There are two chapels that were consecrated, and afterwards they became part of the business of Santa Maria Novella. So the monks had the intuition, and they made a good move to open another entrance on Via della Scala, because this gave the direct access from the city to the main sale room, and this increased so much the sales. And as you saw, we have the museum up there, so we have all the machineries. But of course, until the 2000, we had already the store in Paris. We were using that technology, those machineries that now are a part of museum.
Well, that's another beautiful part of visiting the Via della Scala boutique, is that you can walk through and see. Well, first you have that beautiful cafe that you opened, but next to it, you see these incredible. I don't even know that there's that. I don't know. It's a furnace kind of thing that takes the essences, or like what was that thing called?
It's a multifractionary distillator.
Yeah, I don't know that word.
There are three in the world, actually. And it was the system used by the monks to distill up to 25 different plants and flowers at the same time with one fire. So through a complicated distillation process, they were able to do that. It's nice to see that we show in a vitrine the Florentine bottle, designed by Leonardo da Vinci at the beginning of the 500s, that we are still using despite the centuries, etc., because we didn't find anything better to separate the essential oil from the water at the end of the distillation process. So it's really a jump throughout the history of perfumery, but not only, throughout the history of this magic city, because you can see the paintings, the frescoes of Mariotto di Nardo, etc., etc. So the life of this company, the life of this church, is connected with the life of the city. That's why it's very important for us to train all the sales staff in the world which represent our products, not just on the products, but on the history. You have to breathe our atmosphere to represent at the best our brand worldwide.
You talk about this as a family, and then you said something just beautiful right now. You have to breathe in the atmosphere. And one of the things that I find fascinating is that you still, this Santa Maria Novella, you said more than 80 stores around the world. Is that correct?
A little bit less. We will reach 80 stores at the end of this year.
But you're around the world, but the product or how it's made is mostly done. I mean, almost everything comes from the Florence area. You have 3 gardens, 3 huge botanical and plant gardens and fruit gardens in and around Tuscany. And you also were saying that you still work with fornitori that that forage for the right flowers and plants for your potpourri. I mean, this isn't simply, hey, we're making soaps. I mean, this is every single soap, every single product tells a story of Firenze, in essence.
Of
And
course.
in essence is such a great little pun because I know you're using essences as well. Um,
We are really proud to say that ours is made in Florence product rather than made in Italy. You know, I know that everybody will critique me right now, but made in Italy most of times is fake made in Italy. Everybody knows that it's produced elsewhere and just the finishing are made in Italy. We make a lot of efforts to produce made in Florence, not just making all the production internally in our factory. So nobody is working for us, but we are doing everything by ourselves. But not only, all the suppliers are local. Even the bags, the shoppers are purchased by Florentine or Tuscan. And this is respectful to the story and to the tradition of this company. So creating, I cannot say richness because we are not so big, you know, but creating welfare to the community, so to give back what we are receiving from the city, and this makes this product so special. So we have told of the story of this pharmacy, but of course we are not a museum. We have to compete in the international markets with multinationals that are so powerful, and our way to win there is place for everybody in this sector. And we want to remain like we are, a niche. Everybody has abused this word, but it gives the sense we want to cover a little segment of the market. And the only way we have, because we don't advertise, is to reinvest in our profit in raw materials, skilled people, technology, machinery, laboratories, and research. Eugenio Alfanderi, the man that brought this company to be, one of my dearest friends, but he's a great entrepreneur. He got this company over 30 years ago when it was failing, just one store and 2 employees, and his vision made this company a benchmark of what in the cosmetic world. I mean, he just gave, since the beginning, importance to the quality rather than to the quantity. So since the beginning, I thought to be the best manager ever. When I joined the company, I was a friend of him. I came and said, Eugenio, okay, I worked in multinationals before, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, I'm coming, I will open this market, I will put the product here and here. And he said, hey, stop it. You are like a blackboard. Everything will be signed. You don't know everything, and you will never propose Santa Maria Novella to anybody. You are like a beautiful woman that has to be invited to get out for dinner and never propose herself to go. So it changed the world. And it was my best marketing lesson. Now I'm going to the university to make business management lessons, and sometimes they call managers to do that. And whenever they ask me which has been your best lesson, this was my best lesson. And it always be my lighthouse, I don't know how to explain in English, il faro.
The beacon, yeah.
So always to select.
So you were talking about him as being
So
this is a beacon.
I want to talk about him because really he made a miracle. 15 university degree were written on Santa Maria Novella.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we have the international press covering us. We just released a couple of interviews in the news, primetime, CBS Sunday Morning or ZDF, etc. And this means that no company it's called to do that, and it's our way to make business, which is quite unique. We don't say we are better or we are worse of the others, because you cannot say my product is better than yours, because in perfumery, everybody likes, it's too personal. Your skin reacts in a way,
Right.
etc., etc. We are different. We love to be different. So in the way we don't follow fashion, our packaging is quite vintage. We don't have advertising agency working for us. We are doing our packaging by ourselves. We decide our strategies. we don't they decided to don't open the China market because they are testing the product on animals. So we refuse to have a huge turnover, but we respect the animals. We have a line for pets. So imagine if we can accept to test the product on animals. So there is nothing to test. Our products are natural.
Wait,
So,
I didn't know you had a line for animals.
yeah, pets.
Like dog shampoo?
We have dog shampoos, dog and cat shampoos, deodorant, neem oil. Neem oil
Oh,
is
yeah.
against and it's a toxic.
Yeah.
They can even leak it. We have some products that make the owner happy and the dog's happy. And believe me, these products are better than the ones that we do for human beings because they are alcohol free and we take so much care to produce them that we can use on our babies without any product. So the quality is assured, no matter if they are animals, pets, or whatever.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that quality. I walked through, with Gianluca today, I walked through the gardens and then I walked through the factory. And one of the things, this is a modern factory. They have a super high-tech 21st century lab where everything gets tested on the spot. So the results come back right away so they can keep going forward. And they have machinery that will transport, that will churn the soaps. And I'm not going to say anything technical because I don't know technical words. But what I will say that's also fascinating is at the same time, when I was watching the soaps being made, the soap gets run through the machine, cut, printed, and then it's taken by hand and wrapped, carved and wrapped. I mean, it's the same thing with the candles. There's a human touch that is fundamental to Santa Maria Novella.
It's critic. It's critic for two reasons. The first one is to let our customers to understand that their products are not just done by machineries, but they are handmade. So as you had the opportunity to see also in the wax department, etc., we have a lot of handwork. The second reason, which is even more important for us, is that the control of quality is assured since the first steps of the production. So each one get in touch with the product, and we have a single product check. We don't have the random check like one piece every 100 or one piece every 1,000 like in industrial companies, etc. But every piece is tested one by one. So this means that every product getting out of the factory has to be perfect. So even if we don't make big numbers, but our numbers are every customer is respected in the sense. I mean, whenever we sell a product, we know that we sell quality, and this is what makes us more happy because we receive great feedbacks, we receive endorsements. Many times from celebrities, etc., that we don't pay. So this is the best for us because it pays us back of all the efforts and sacrifices.
Well, it means you have a really personal relationship with the people with your clients, because you were telling me that there are people that will say, hey, I bought the acqua di tabacco, I'm probably wrong, or I bought a perfume and this year it smells different. And what were you saying? Of course it's going to smell different.
It smells different because our way to produce the perfume is different. As you saw, we age the perfume in a cellar. We don't put antioxidant to crystallize the life of the perfume. So of course they keep on going aging. They continue their aging process in the bottles. So for sure, they're always, when you sell the products, the tester is always to have the same batch number. Otherwise, it can smell different because through the aging process, the perfume, especially the one that, for example, contain patchouli, becomes more honey color, more intense, more deep, and there was. Therefore, there could be a complaint from the customers that say, oh, I have bought, for example, you were saying Tabacco Toscano 2 months ago, and it smells different from the one that I have since 2 years at home. Of course, it's normal. And this is what the sales staff come here and learn and have to explain to the clients. Our perfume are different. They are aged in the cellar. without the antioxidant under nitrogen. So they are like the white wines, beautiful and pure white wines that age in the bottle. So this is not a defect. It's something so costly that the industrial company cannot do it. So it's easier to put antioxidant and crystallize the life and put on sales, so everything smells the same, etc. But we don't want to do it. The soaps you saw that we are putting the real milk and the perfume in the flakes of soap, and then they have to be aged for 30 days.
Which you explain it. I mean, it's there's this beautiful relationship also with traditional processes that we relate to food, like the aging of cheese, you were saying.
The aging of cheese, but another example is the liqueur. So we have just showed we have recently hosted the Negroni Week in Florence, and we were called to be partnered with Campari Academy for an event where we explained through a seminary the strict relation between the perfume, the olfact, and the taste of and production of liqueurs, because it's strictly connected. The way you feel the perfume of the liqueurs in the nose with the taste. So everything is at the end connected with the food. We love food, we are Italian. So always even this morning, I was taking you to the garden, and then I realized every time I was introducing to a plant, an officinal plant, I was saying how it could be used in the food. So this is in ravioli, this is in frittata, the time with the seafood, etc. And then I was saying, oh my goodness, we are really Italian.
But I'm used to it.
And alkermes, of course, can be used in pastry, in cakes, but also in sauces. So yeah, we love to work in an ethical way. We work being fair and transparent to our clients. So whatever you have seen, it's open. Everybody can book a visit and see, like now the restaurants are doing again, showing to the customers the kitchen, how they make foods, etc. We show without having any secrets to everybody how we produce the perfumes, the soaps, the body milk, the spa protocol lines, and whatever.
Now, I know that there are so many historic, let's call them recipes, for the elixirs, for the soaps, for many different products. But I also know that you guys are thinking, and since I think the turn of the century, you guys have been also very focused on thinking forward. I know that we've talked a little bit about skincare, for me, anti-aging.
No, you don't deserve it. No, you don't need it. I mean,
thank you. That was definitely fishing for a compliment there. But I know that you guys that we've talked about makeup, and this is what I find so great about the company, is that you're not just relying on these historical, like, I want to say award-winning, but constant repeat products that everybody loves. You're also saying, hey, wait a minute, we are in the 21st century. I know you talked about potentially in the future, maybe some makeup stuff. I know we mentioned that briefly, which I'm only going to say because I really want you to do it.
It was really fishing for compliments, but it's not but everybody, even the youngest, need to preserve the skin, preventing what has become really risky. I mean, the sun has become really aggressive right now, so everybody has to protect the skin and prevent using light products, not really the skincare. I mean, but a daily use of a cream since when you are 20 could prevent damages to the skin, etc., especially with the atmospheric condition that we have right now. For sure, we are thinking to, you are the first one to whom I say something like that. I mean, no one of us released that until now.
Well, I'm just pushing because I think I would like to have that in my bathroom. I want the full makeup line.
we are thinking since time to create some makeup line, some makeup product, according with our business philosophy. So our makeup has to be curative, has to be nourishing, has to be natural, of course, not chemical. So we are thinking to a lipstick, which has to be nice, I mean, for colors, etc., but also nourishing, hydrating, etc. We are thinking to a foundation, which has to be portable. I mean, it's nothing but our powders. We have powders of all. We are producing powders since 600, so we know how to do it, and we want to compact them in a portable packaging, etc. And this become very, very nice to see them in the my daughter's bag or whatever, etc. And another product is to make the, I don't know the name of the,
Ombretto,
no, these ones.
Rimmel, like eyelashes,
The
mascara,
eyelashes,
mascara.
no mascara, to make
Oh,
them
to
longer.
longer.
Yeah, a natural one to make them longer.
That
So
would be
these are the three ones that we are thinking.
What are some of Santa Maria Novella's top selling products? And does that depend on where you are in the
We
world?
until now we have two main selling products that are potpourri and rose water, but we are just launching an incredible line which is called Hydralia line. We have already the Hydralia cream, which is our face cream. It's the best seller for skincare. So according to and replying to the request that we had from the market, from our distributor, etc., we create a line of adding three products to the Hydralia cream, which are a gentle exfoliating mask to be applied every morning. And it's a very, very light peeling to be done every morning. A serum. This serum is hydrating and before the to be used before the application of the Hydralia cream or the eye cream, and a sleeping mask. The sleeping mask is it's a great one because it's chak chak effect. Chak chak is the last fashion coming from South Korea. It's not creamy, it's watery based. So when you do like that, it's like to feel chak chak. And it's an absorbing mask. So you put every 2-3 times a week, and then you go sleep, and it's absorbed, and your skin in the morning really looks regenerated and bright, etc. And then we have these candles in the glasses that we have just launched 2 months ago that are going very well. And at the end, we are waiting for the room diffuser with the sticks, which will be our next one. And, you know, we are making new things. So also a travel kit. Now the travel tourism, it has become one of the biggest market for cosmetics. So we are thinking to create different packagings for the people like me that are always traveling with the handbag, with the hand luggage rather than to the check luggage. So you know what we are. It's that being a little company, we are elastic. We are able to adapt to the market needs really fast. Despite the research takes time because you saw that the processes are quite long, but we are really able to make a meeting, decide, and go where the market asks us to go.
Well, this is fascinating. I've had such a wonderful visit, and just to let everybody know, as Gianluca was saying, you can visit, so you can always visit the Via della Scala boutique, which is beautiful and historic, and you can also by appointment visit the garden so you can see where all of these plants come, because this is a botanically inspired company. They have acres and acres of different varietals that go into every single one of their products. I'll give everybody all of that information. You can find it online. So now I just want to say thank you. I've had such a great day, and I've also been, you know, I think I've been so impressed with that mint soap. It captivated me. That scent is incredible. And that's one thing that I think I want to tell everybody. I watched as they made and packaged this incredible mint soap, and it's, you know, it's the wrapping by hand Francesca had her eyes closed or was actually talking to me and looking away when she was wrapping. I mean, it's, you don't think about these things, and then when you have the cake of soap in your hand, you smell it, it feels so personal. So thank you.
Oh, I'd say it has been my pleasure to have you here and to have driven you in our world for a little bit of time. But anytime you will come back, it will be our pleasure to host you again.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Ciao Bella. You can find all my episodes on iTunes, and if you have time, subscribe, rate, and let me know your thoughts on the podcast. You can also be part of the podcast by donating. Find Ciao Bella on patreon.com, where with as little as $1, you get behind-the-scenes photos and videos as I travel all throughout Italy. To learn more about me and my work, go to my website, ericafirpo.com, and follow my Italy adventures on Instagram at ericafirpo. Ciao Bella! And a very big thank you and hug to Massimiliano Yonta and Dis to Dis Studios, the producers of Ciao Bella, who continue to make me sound and feel great.